Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Houston Texans have signed veteran cornerback Cameron Dantzler, and they have waived wide receiver who is also injured and is a special teamer at kick returner and punt returner Alex Bachman, who has been on the roster for a little bit. I think he was on the practice squad last year. Didn't actually play any games for the Texans last year, but was on the practice squad last year and was on the roster during the preseason in the 2022 preseason and training camp. And then I think we waived him and then picked him back up for the practice squad. And then we invited him back to training camp this year. And he's looked okay through training camp so far, but now the Texans are waiving him again because he is also injured. And the Texans are adding in more depth to this secondary, adding in Cameron Dantzler, who has played his past 3 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. So his first 3 years was a third-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and he's been really solid. He's been a starter for most of his time with the Vikings. So, but I think the only touch in the field has been a problem. I mean, rookie year only played 11 games. Second year in 2021 only played 14 games. Last season only played 10 games, but he's been really good when he's been out there. 2020, 11 games, 10 starts, 2 interceptions, 4 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. 2021, 14 games, 7 starts, 1 interception, 8 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, and 53 tackles, 0 tackles for loss. 2022, with the Vikings this year, he played 10 games, 9 starts, 0 interceptions, and he had 1 forced fumble with 5 passes deflected and 1 fumble recovery, which he did return this fumble recovery for 16 yards, and 50 tackles with 3 tackles for loss. So then I think the Bills picked him up, and I think the Bills waived him. But I think, adding him into this defense will be really good if he makes the roster. I mean, just looking at his stats some of the stats he put up with the Vikings in his 3 years, I don't see why he shouldn't make the roster. The only reason I could think of is that there's a lot of depth at that cornerback position and the whole secondary. But, I mean, something I'm going to be looking at is, could this be danger to Shaquille Griffin, who the Texans picked up? I thought there was a chance Shaquille Griffin, cornerback that we signed from Jacksonville, would maybe not make the roster. Now you pick up Cameron Dantzler. I think there is a potential chance that now maybe Shaquille Griffin might not make the roster. As for Alex Bachman, I don't think this is that big of a deal for the Texans. I don't think it's that much of a big a deal. I think he was going to get cut anyways, but the only thing is he's not going to play the 3rd preseason game, but even if you kept him on the roster, he wouldn't be available for that game either. He's injured. So I like this addition. It's going to be interesting to see if Cameron Dantzler makes the roster. I think he should. He proved himself in Minnesota for the 3 years he was there. I thought he was really good. I think he'd be really good for this defense as well, even if he doesn't play it that much at all. But does he make the roster over a guy like Shaq Griffin, who, there's been questions, will he make that Texans 53-man roster? So I would think one of Cameron Dantzler or Shaquille Griffin will make the roster for the Texans. Which one is it? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans signing former Vikings cornerback Cameron Dantzler, and also waiving Alex Bachman, wide receiver, who is injured. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.